Mama's Basement. DJ Drew proudly presents The Ketchup After Show. Like, comment, and subscribe. What she said.
What is up, everybody? Back here again. It is the series finale of The Walking Dead. It's the end of an era, y'all. Before I get started, and for those of you who may be watching the replay when I'm get done with this, I want to hear any talk about the show was on too long. Negan messed up the show. I want to hear that shit tonight. It was a great episode. I have nothing bad to say about it. I'm gonna get into it in just a second, but just overall, my feeling right now is just like it feels like a journey. It was ups, it was downs. Season 7, 8, somewhere around there, wherever your boy got his head bashed in, of course. But all is forgiven. There was some deaths tonight. They started off the show hot. But I'm gonna go ahead and get to this in just a second. But just overall, my feelings. I feel finality, sort of. There's the the side. Well, not. I shouldn't call them side shows, but spinoffs that are coming, which I'll talk about that at the end of the stream here. But as far as the Bane show, it's over with. How you feel? Do y'all feel like it ended well? If we want to go ahead and get to the question of the day, did Rick show up? Yes, Rick showed up, sort of. Not exactly. He didn't come in, saving the day or anything like that. He didn't come in on his helicopter or riding a horse or anything like that. I think it was. I think the ending was suitable. As far as his involvement in the finale. I don't think Rick was needed for the finale. Once they got his character up out of there, it was kind of a new era as far as The Walking Dead. And, I'm just glad that they were able to carry the show without, that main character. At least I felt anyway, from season 9 when they changed the showrunner. I think ever since then, probably the latter half of season 9 from on there, I think the show was doing great. But you'll have your haters out there, but I'm just saying right now, man, I don't want to hear none of that talk. It's a celebration. So with that being said, let's get into it, y'all. But as far as the show ended, it's like, imagine if The Simpsons just said, "Hey, we're ending this series right now." That's what this feels like. Like, this show has been on so long. But 11 seasons, low key, kind of 12, but it is what it is. Let's get into this, shall we? Once I get my setup right here. Hold on. Switching around today. All right, y'all ready for this? Let's get into the beginning moments of the series right here. And of course, the question was, is Judith going to live? I already said Judith wasn't going to die in my previous review. I think there was more of a scare tactic. But hold on. Give me 1 second here. I see somebody in the comments right here. I'm getting all my stuff together. Welcome, Trayson. I'm hyped, man. I was so hyped. As a matter of fact, I'm like on AMC Plus, right? And I was watching last week. I'm ready for the episode. I'm like, where's the episode? And then I had to Google it, and then they're making everybody wait into the season finale. But it's good that they did that, though. seeing as, if the AMC Plus viewers, somebody would have spoiled it. So I think AMC made a good decision with making everybody wait until, things were caught up on the cable side. So, and yes, the Simpsons ending would be would be sad, even though I don't watch it anymore, not as much as I used to, but that would be crazy. I mean, the Simpsons is never going to end. But anyway, let's get back into the show right here. And man, of course, like I said, yeah, Judith is alive at this point. She got up out, the bed, and there were a couple glimpses and flashes of what was going on. One of the guys from the Commonwealth, I was going to say CRM, the Commonwealth, knocked out Daryl, and then she gets up, to close the doors of the hospital before, the walkers could get in. I thought that was a little unbelievable, but okay. But if I got to say anything bad, that's probably it right there. And I was about to rag on the Rosita segment, but I'll get to that in just a second here. So next up, we getting right into it, y'all. They wasn't playing any games. Jules, Luke, both of them get bitten. And of course, they try to, save your boy here by cutting off his leg. But of course, that didn't work. I'm guessing just from the blood loss, maybe. I'm guessing that's why. Because I was about to question, I'm like, okay, they got to it early enough. Why is he dying? But I'm thinking if you got your damn leg cut off, if I'm not mistaken, it looked like both of his legs were cut off. I might have to go back and look. But he lost a serious amount of blood. And of course, he couldn't carry on. So very sad scene right here, as, they had to put him down. So, I kind of had a feeling he was gonna go out. But yeah, so that's it as far as Luke is concerned. So let's go into the next clip here. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Rosita. This had me like, oh my God. So let's go into this scene right here. So Rosita's climbing the bar right here, or, trying to climb that pipe. And she falls down. Now, I thought it was over for her right here. And it kind of reminds me of a Glenn when he crawled from the dumpster, whatever. So it kind of reminded me of that. She just fought off. She's just like, just fought off all these walkers. I was like, wait a minute, what? So, of course, I think they made up for it, towards the end of the episode here. But that was probably another one that I was getting ready to rag on. I'm like, wait a minute, what she developed all these superpowers? She just broke out of the crowd of the walkers without getting bitten. But, oh, George, we're going to talk about that. But anyway, but even though logically I was like, I don't know, that seemed kind of weird. This seemed like a weird sequence, but at the same time, I was glad she was alive at that point. She fought the walkers or whatever. And then she, jumped from the ambulance to the pipe, climbed back up, and that was that. But Rosita was one of my predictions, to die. Seeing as, she did die in the comics, I was like, they're probably going to take her out. But as far as, how she went out, I think she had a peaceful death, man. I like the way she went out, ultimately, but I'll get into that a little bit later on. I see we got some more people in the chat right here. How are we feeling about tonight's show? What would y'all grade it, man? Me, I may be capable for Walking Dead tonight. I'm giving this I gotta take a 0.5 off for some a couple of things, but 9.5. I'll give it 9.5. So somebody won't totally say you give it a 10 out of 10. I want to give it a 10 out of 10, but maybe that's just me being emotional, just because I've rode with this series so long, through the ups and the downs. I've been here. I haven't, sometimes I kind of wavered off. I'm like, well, let me catch up on some Walking Dead. But I'm here for it tonight, man. But yeah, let me know what y'all think down in the comments, man. So let's go into the next clip here. Of course, we got Lydia, who has joined the One Arm Club with your boy Aaron. So now they got something in common. But of course, she's still, worried about Elijah, who she does end up reuniting with later in the episode. But as far as Lydia, I guess I like the way her story came to a conclusion. But I really don't have much to say about Lydia. I'm glad she's alive though. So let's move on here. All right, so through this episode, we got kind of, Negan and Maggie talking, and you kind of see them kind of setting up for the spinoff that's about to happen. Of course, I think it's called Dead City or something like that. So how many of you guys are going to be tuning in into the spinoffs? We got Dead City. I know I said I was going to talk about this towards the end, but I'm already on it. So Dead City, Rick and Michonne, Daryl, just Daryl, and we kind of saw how they wrote off I can't remember names right now. Carol. They kind of wrote her off because she bowed out of the show. So but with that being said, yeah, I do plan to tune in into all of them, at least see how each one feels to me, but that's gonna be a lot of Walking Dead, man. And then not to mention we got Fear the Walking Dead still, waiting in the wings. So what else we got here? But yeah, Negan and Negan and Maggie, they have several conversations throughout the episode, basically, and building up to that moment where it looks like Maggie is gonna sort of kind of not forgive him for what he did, but she's still gonna have to live with him. As you can see, they're setting up for them to move on into their spinoff. So I think two of the hardest characters as far as the Walking Dead is concerned, you put them both together, I think we can make magic. Let's see what happens, but I'll give it a chance though. Moving on. All right, so we got Rosita here, and this is where we find out just when you think it's safe, nope, Rosita is bitten. I was like, oh man, but yeah, you knew what time it was, and you couldn't cut off a limb because she was like bitten on the back of her shoulder or something like that, or neck. So I was like, yeah, it's pretty much over with for Rosita. But I think she went out swinging. She saved her child. She died protecting her own. So I do think they gave her, a warrior's death, so to say. But yeah, so moving on here. It says speak Portuguese. I'm from Brazil. I'm sorry, my guy. I don't know Portuguese. I know a little Espanol though, but I can't help you there. Please forgive me. Lost my pictures. It's live, y'all. It's live. There we go. All right. So we are back with Judith here. She's waking up, and like I said, I didn't think Judith was gonna die, but yeah. So we had Daryl. I'm having a hard time remembering names today. Daryl giving blood to her, so that's how basically she pulled through. But other than that, this where things start going down here. The hospital is being overrun. How many of y'all felt like a sense of danger here with Walking Dead? If I were to say, that's probably one of the things that's probably been missing, where you just on the edge, like, oh man, it's going down right now. Like, I have no hope. And of course we had the variants. You had one with the rock and he bust the glass or whatever. So, but yeah, so hospital's overrun. And then next up, we are going over to the Commonwealth. And your boy Mercer is out of jail. He got bust out by his boo, of course. And they're making a play to go towards Pamela, who's not letting people in the gates. She's held up. And I'm gonna speak on Pamela in just a second, because we're about to get into that part of the episode here. So as you can see, they pretty much run up on her. And this part I like, where Father Gabriel, he said, hey man, if y'all gonna shoot me, shoot me. He walks up to the gate, he unlocks the gate for the people to go in. And then we get your boy here, Hornsby, who is not gone. I think he looked good as a walker, so to say. No homo, but I like the makeup and everything like that. So Hornsby makes one last appearance, and it looked like she was about to take the easy way out, so to say. It looked like she was gonna let him bite her, and then Maggie from the back shoots Hornsby. So she's like, hey, I'm not letting you off that easily. So in this situation, it was more like, a fate worse than death, to watch them take over and overthrow her. And, she's going to be sitting in prison, watching what she built crumble, so to say. Let's see who we got here in the chat. It was cool seeing Lance again. He deserved what he got. There was no redemption for him. It definitely wasn't. I'm glad they got rid of him though. At least they killed one of them. I would have been very angry if they let both of them live. But yeah, Hornsby, they killed him, of course. I kind of wanted Maggie to take out Pamela, but I guess she's on her path to forgiveness, so I guess if she can somewhat forgive Negan, she didn't exactly forgive Negan, but she let bygones be bygones. So I guess that's what she's on. So it's admirable, but they could have got Pamela up out of here. What we got? Paulo plus a negative, so is what you're saying? Yeah, okay. All right. Let's move on here. Let's move on. So now we have a plan to finally get rid of all these walkers, and this probably the biggest swarm I have ever seen here as far as the walkers are concerned. So they have basically, the whole Commonwealth rigged to explode. And after this, they had the cult of personality, man. I was digging that part, where they were setting up the explosives, and they had this thing rigged up where with the record player that was playing cult of personality, and then at the end, this thing triggered where it set the spark, and then it exploded from there. And then we got this great explosion scene right here. Boom, over with. Commonwealth is done. And then the last remnants here of the old Commonwealth, so to say. Of course, they have Pam locked up, and this is the last we really see of Pam. And then at towards the end of the episode, where we're bringing peacetime again. We don't see her like locked up or having to observe you know what is happening now after the fall of the Commonwealth or whatnot. But yeah, so this is the last we see of Pam. But I still kind of wish somebody would have popped her, man. I'm be honest. So let's move on here. So once again, we're going back to another conversation with Negan and Maggie, and it's right here that we kind of see the setup as far as going into Dead City, which is gonna be starring both of these two. So maybe not right now. It's maybe in that series, they're still gonna be working, on their path to forgiveness here. So we might see Maggie forgive him in that series, but they got a whole lot to go right here. But like I said earlier, I am looking forward to these two characters working together. So let's see what comes about. Next up, we get the little peacetime scene right here. And of course, everybody's, cheering, everybody's made it to the end. Well, mostly everybody. But speaking of deaths, we didn't really lose too many main characters other than Jules and Luke. You can debate whether they were really important to the plot. But of course, Rosita was probably the most notable, but those were the only three. So going to Rosita here, she's on her deathbed. And, like I said, I like the way she went out. It was peaceful. She didn't get bit to death. She didn't lose a arm or a leg or anything like that. They let her go in peace. So we're not going to see zombie Rosita. I mean, Walker Rosita, my bad. There are no zombies in the Walking Dead universe. So yeah, so we have the end of Rosita right here. I'm sad to see her go. So then after that, we get New Beginnings. So we're seeing the new Commonwealth / Alexandria, I guess, whatever you want to call it. And of course, we have the leader among men. What's his band name? I'm about to call him Gabriel. Oh my God. Ezekiel. So he's no longer King Ezekiel, but he's Governor Ezekiel, along with his Lieutenant Governor Mercer. So I think, as far as where he is right now, it's a perfect way to end it, because he's naturally a leader. And you kind of saw his fall from being, the king to the common folk, and to now he's kind of back in a leadership role again. So nice ending for Ezekiel, who had cancer, by the way. So he pulled through and made it to the end. Let's see what else we got here. And let me see. Okay, this is when Daryl was talking to Connie. And I always wanted them to get together, man. Daryl deserves love, man. But speaking of love, your boy, oh my God, I'm bad with names tonight, y'all. The other guy, mullet guy. Well, he no longer has a mullet, but y'all know who I'm talking about. Eugene. It's so many characters you have to remember in this series. So Eugene and Maxine, they're together. So Eugene finally found love. I thought they did him dirty. What was that last? That might have been part 1 or part 2. I can't remember, where he got played by the fake Maxine. I felt so sorry for him, but he finally found love, man. But yeah, Daryl deserves happiness. And that's what Judith told him as well, that he deserves to be happy. But he will find happiness in his own spinoff. So we shall see. Next up, we have staying on the Daryl Carol thing here. This is where Daryl says goodbye to Carol here. Of course, she chose not to be in the spinoff, so they had to write her off somehow. But Carol makes it to the end. And then Daryl goes off to where, I don't know, we shall see, but that's pretty much the end for Daryl's storyline as far as the main series is concerned. Moving on. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. You see it. Here they are. Now, at this point, I thought, are they sitting together? It doesn't look like it at this point. But it looks like they're going to be on their way to finding each other. But that's going to be in the Rick and Michonne, spinoff here. So, of course, you got both of them, they're doing their monologue or whatnot. She's looking for Rick. And of course, we see Rick here. If you notice that symbol on the jacket here, he's been dealing with the CRM. It looked like he's on the run, and that's where we end the episode off. But the only thing I'm questioning here is when they flashed off of him, it looked like he had a smile on his face. So I'm like, did he want to be captured, or what was going on in that scene? I don't know. But this is the only image we see of Rick here. We didn't get much of him, but like I said, I really didn't think the finale really needed him. Like I said, when he got picked up in that helicopter and went off, it's like an era within an era died, and then we moved on to the other characters who I think did a good job of carrying the torch when Rick left the show. But that is pretty much it, guys. It's been a ride. And even though it is an end of an era, the legacy is still going to be carried on into multiple spinoffs. So like I said earlier in the show, are you looking forward to these spinoffs? Is this where you stop? Or are you going to give the spinoffs a chance? But of course, I know everybody's going to be checking out Rick and Michonne to see how that story ends off. But as far as the other ones, Daryl and Maggie, Negan, is it needed? Let me know. But anyway, guys, that has been your Walking Dead End of an Era series finale review. There were some ups and downs, but I don't regret going on this ride, man. But yeah, that's it for me, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed the show. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that thumbs up and smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. Where's my producer? Push the goddamn button. That's my producer, Sue. She said push the button, y'all. Push the button. All right, let me see if I have anything else in here before I go. Amanda Collins got here. I truly believe that in a few years we will have another series coming. As far as like Walking Dead, and of course was a beautiful finale. Yes, it was. I thought it ended. I thought it ended perfectly. I didn't have any problems with how it ended. We have building up to the new spinoffs, so we sent the characters that needed to be sent off the right way. Rosita's death was peaceful. She went out, saving her child. But they didn't do her too dirty. So, but anyway, that's pretty much it, guys. So I stayed up for this. I have to go in a midnight shift in a few. So I said, man, I'm staying up for this. I got to talk about this when the show goes off. But yeah, man, it's been a ride, y'all. I've enjoyed it. I hope you have too. But anyway, leave your comments, thoughts down below, and I guess I'll see y'all for these spinoffs. We're gonna see where it goes. But that's it for this era of Walking Dead. I'll see y'all next time.